Hello everybody, the OtherDude 92 here, doing his first video. Now, I'm just going to decide to do videos from time to time, talking about movies, TV, video games, and maybe a top 5 or 2. And, well, figured since other people are into it, might as well try it myself. So, without further ado, let's begin my first video log. And I'm going to begin with a movie review of a movie called Seven Psychopaths. Seven Psychopaths is the story of Colin Farrell, a struggling screenwriter who happens to have two psychotic friends who have a dog napping business, and one day they kidnap the wrong dog from a monster played by Woody Harrelson. And throughout the rest of the movie, it's just Woody Harrelson chasing Colin Farrell and his friends. And his friends are played by Christopher Walken and Sam Rockwell. Both great actors. So, what do I think of the film? It was probably one of my favorite films of the year. What it does for me is it blends disturbing moments with comedy very well, because while there are a lot of funny moments in this movie, and there are a lot of really disturbing moments, and in a lesser film, it would have completely taken me out of the movie. But in this one, it's so well written that I'm willing to accept the more disturbing aspects of the movie, and, well, accept the humor. Even after I saw some guy get his head blown off. And the performances are good. Christopher Walken and Sam Rockwell are probably my favorites, mostly because they have the best backstory and the most personality. Well, as much personality as Christopher Walken could give in a performance. Everyone else is somewhat good. Colin Farrell was okay. Woody Harrelson was amazing also. Like to add that. And their chemistry with one another is probably the best part of the movie. I mean, their actions with each other, their, different psychosis with one another, and how, Colin Farrell is, well, somewhat crazy, is a straight man in this movie. And it's fun to watch him react to what, well, his friends and other psychopaths in this film do. And at least some really funny moments. So, without rambling on and on, I would like to give my final rating. I would give this film a 5 out of 5. And to keep the mood, I'm going to review something else on this recording. And it's a game called Borderlands 2. Now, I played the first Borderlands, and I thought it was a fun game, but a very flawed game. There are things I liked in it, like the variety in weapons and enemies, and what I didn't like about it was the boss battles and the very lackluster plot that doesn't really help drive the game that well. But hey, it's a fun multiplayer game, and what else can you say? I had fun with it. Now, Borderlands 2 is a fun game also, but it is basically Borderlands 1.5. It does fix a few problems I had with the first game, but it kind of is the same thing, just with a few tweaks. Like, for example, in Borderlands 2, there's actually a story. Granted, it's a very flimsy and light story, but it keeps the plot rolling. Also, unlike Borderlands 1, this game, on the other hand, has a little bit more variety in the bosses, instead of them being just really big dudes that you need to shoot. I mean, there's some hype around them, and some of them look really cool. And some of them are a bit challenging, but most of them are pretty easy. In fact, there's this one boss called Wilhelm, who is hyped in this game to be one of the biggest, baddest motherfuckers you'll ever fight. And once I got to his boss battle, I beat him in 30 seconds. No joke. But that's besides the point. There are other things I like about this game. Like the first one, there's a variety of weapons and enemies. And, yeah, and a great multiplayer mode. But one thing I found that was lackluster, though, in this game was, the classes are pretty much the same from the first game, and the end boss, including like majority of the bosses, like I said, are insanely easy. But what really holds this game together and doesn't really make it such a carbon copy, which it is in some aspects, are the characters, because the characters have so much personality. I was surprised because, like, man, there are like so many colorful like characters that I found that I really like from the old game and from the new game. My favorite being the main villain, Handsome Jack, who was both funny and later in the game terrifying once you know more about his backstory. And what I also found great about that character is that he just doesn't care about anything. He's just like, he doesn't care that you're trying to stop him because he has such an ego that he believes he'll win no matter what. And he dishes out some really great insults along the way. And, well, if that doesn't keep you motivated, I don't know what will. So, do I like the game? Like I said, it's very fun, but it is almost exactly like Borderlands 1. But, like Borderlands 1, I feel like I should give this game a somewhat above average review of 4 out of 5. It's a fun game, and if you like Borderlands 1, you'll love this one. So, this is the OtherDude 92, signing off. See you all later. The dude abides.